one day of practice, one of my coaches, we don't always, well, we pretty much always talk about track and field, but every once in a while we talk about other stuff. So he happened to give me a CD to listen to, and this CD happened to be about, unrelated to coaching, confirmation, right? Within the Catholic Church. A lot of information. I'm not going to, that's not my role here today to evangelize anybody, but I'm just saying I don't want to steal someone's information without giving them just due. So Father Mike Schmitz was the guy, the orator on this CD, right? And certainly you shouldn't steal, and then you certainly shouldn't steal from a priest. So I got to at least shout his name out, right? So at the end, he had this analogy. And it dawned on me, because always for coaches, it's in the back of your mind, right? Of something you can do for your team. When I heard the analogy, I said, this is a camp moment, right? Because it's something, because the thing you need to understand is all the coaches here today, whether they know you personally or not, they're here because, or we are here because we care, right? Whether I know you or not, I hope you have a great season. And they hope you have a great season. And they're giving up their time to help you achieve that, right? So I took the information, and I kind of manipulated it, okay, to hope to impart some information for you that I hope will help you learn out. I love milk, right? I'm a whole milk guy, right? Whole milk, grass-fed cow. I mean, this is the real deal, right? So you've heard probably from a coach before, I would hope you have, that one of the best ways to recover is what? Chocolate milk, right? Obviously, when you think of chocolate milk, you think of syrup. I get it, right? But this Ovaltine, granules. Here's the deal. Each granule is a piece of information that you're going to receive throughout the week, right? So we already got some information. You got great people here that are going to impart knowledge. They're going to come up. Chuck already talked to you about not being overzealous, right? Because I guarantee you, nobody remembers the July champion, okay? No one cares who was first at camp, right? So Chuck gives us some information, okay? Then Kevin goes over rules, not just for rules' sake, okay? Not just for rules' sake, but so you can be at your best throughout camp. More chocolate in there, more information, right? And then we impart information so you're not late for the bus, so you can take part in the run. Okay? And throughout camp, it's going to happen. There's morning sessions, track sessions, okay? Nighttime stuff, right? All just particles of information being disseminated to you, the camper, the athlete, to the coaches themselves, right? So at the end of 5 days, 6 days, whatever it is, you're doing steeplechase, you're learning about weight training, you're learning about nutrition. At the end of those days, what do we have? Perfect! We don't, and therein lies the issue. And this was the light bulb moment for me. Right? And this is the fear, to overstate it, that I have when I walk away from camp. Okay? If that's all you do, is take it in, all you are is milk with chocolate. Okay? You're not chocolate milk. And that's our goal. That should be your goal as athletes and as campers when you leave here. Right? You should be chocolate milk, not milk with chocolate. It's not enough to write it down. It's not enough to hear it now. It's not enough to use it on Monday or Tuesday, right? You've got to, we got to cap this up. Italians should never be around an open bottle. They move around way too much. Woo! We're safe. It's got the lid on it, okay? And you got to shake it up. You got to shake yourself up and your teammates up, right? Otherwise, what happens? Right? That's what happens. You go home, you're all excited the first few days. There's still some settling at the bottom. You didn't get it all in. Right? It's not just a one-time thing, it's an everyday thing throughout the season. Right? Throughout the season, you're inspiring your teammates. You're remembering what you learned. You're applying what you learned. Okay? You've got to apply it. You cannot just hear it. Okay, Matrix? You cannot just hear it and think it's going to happen. Okay, and therein lies the issue. I've seen it happen with teams when I was coaching cross country. They'd be all about it up here. They'd be all about it when they got home. But they didn't take it with them throughout the season, and they didn't carry it back to the whole team. Okay? So your goal is not just to take it in and to hear it, because anybody can do that. You're all intelligent enough to do that. Okay? You've got to take it back, take it with you, think about it, look at it, write it down, read it, apply it daily, every single day, until you have that rich, chocolatey chocolate milk. Okay? Not just milk with chocolate. So that's our goal. That'll be, sometimes I might see you. If I see you're sleeping, you're milk with chocolate. Milk with chocolate will get beat by chocolate milk all day, every day. Right? Milk with chocolate has no chance against chocolate milk. Okay? Not as a recovery drink, not as an athlete, not as a teammate. You've got to be all in. Okay? All in. So, that's my first of a few different talks up here. I hope it resonates with you. Okay? And please understand what I'm saying. Please understand I'm passionate about what I do because of you. Right? Whether I know you, whether I would ever compete against you as a coach against your team and my team or not. All I know is, all I know is you make the path easier for your opponent if you don't apply it every single day. You make the path easier to be milk with chocolate. Knowledge is great, but only if it's used. Right? Only if it's used. So use the knowledge you have. There's tons of people here who are as passionate as I am. They just display it differently sometimes. Probably better for them and their long-term health. Okay? But use that passion and make it infectious amongst your teammates. Okay? Otherwise, why do it? You've got to give it 100%. Right? All the time. 100%. I don't believe in 110%. I don't understand where that came from. That's your new 100%. Get it? How will you have 110? 100% is 100%. You can't give 110 because that's your new 100. Right? You just raised the ceiling on what 100 is. Give 100%. Get your milk. This is Jersey milk. This is tough milk. Right? Jersey cows. Those are tough cows. Try milking a Jersey cow. You better be ready. Okay? So, please, let's walk away here, camp full of chocolate milk. And if you're lactose intolerant, sorry. Okay? Thank you. All right. I feel, it is my opinion, okay, and not just my opinion, but opinion of many, irregardless of the sport, or regardless of the sport, you have to get stronger. Okay? You need to get stronger. Plain and simple. And strength is all relative to the most young athletes. When I talk to them about this, is they always are talking about, well, I don't want to get big and bulky. You're not going to get big and bulky, first of all, unless you do a lot of things right. Okay? You've got to add the strength first before you can add the high level of strength or resistance training to then get the growth out of the muscle to get to this whatever picture you have in your head, right, the Incredible Hulk, that you made. My core is engaged. What position are we in when we run? Right, deadlift, hip dominant. A lot of problems with runners. Undulation when they run. You see their hips rise and lower. And you'll see that in some video analysis when Chuck talks about that. Is this motion, where most things are predicated from. In the strength world, the powerlifting, it all started, or not started, but a lot of people were always wondering what was happening behind the Iron Curtain because their athletes were so much stronger. Okay? So this gentleman, Prilipin, came up with this chart, right? Percent. When you're in the 55 to 65% range, based off of your mass for the squat is 100 pounds, and you're doing 55 to 65%, so at 55 to 65 pounds, you should be doing 3 reps, 6 sets. Okay? Total rep range of 18 to 30, optimal TAC. We would be like in China by the time we got off there. It would just shove us through to the other hemisphere, right? He's 198 pounds. You don't have to be big and bulky to be strong. Dude is yoked though, okay? Shredded, right? Like you could do your laundry on his abs. Okay, I have 2 guys both sitting. Sweet, okay? Let's look at them side by side. I'm very fast, but it's this right here. I just made mistakes. Okay? It's Sandberg. Then you have Jim Sandberg. Okay? So, again, remember, this is based off your 1 rep max. How do you figure out your 1 rep max? I think it's simple, but it may not be. By the way, reciprocal relationship, if I get in this good posture, my lower back goes into a good neutral, strong position. Okay? Automatically. You can't get in a bad position. If I'm here, I'm strapped, I'm ready to go. Right? Neutral, we've got the natural curvature of the spine. Right? And it pauses for a moment. And then I drive it up again. Pin my elbows to the ceiling. Okay? Right? You're gonna be more awesome. Awesome-er. Who doesn't want to be awesome-er? You know you do. You want to be more awesome every time. And then body weight rows should always be in there. I think I've mentioned last time. Okay? There are 3 types of people. This here, okay, represents the obstacles, right, the pitfalls, the negativity that influences our life, okay, and makes or breaks us. You may know these people. Maybe you're one of them. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just hopefully here to shed some light on it. Okay, what do I mean by that? The marshmallows, right? You put a flame to the marshmallow, right? And instantly it starts to change its form. Instantly it starts to give up. Instantly it's engulfed by the flame, by the obstacles, by those things that thwart you along your way towards your goals, right? Hopefully there's no sprinklers in there. Okay? Kind of is very brash, right? Who I kind of liken to the person who enjoys getting in the chat rooms, on the blogs, and engaging in cowardly warfare, right? But doesn't sign their name to it, right? And they're like, oh, they seem pretty tough. They talk pretty tough. Like I said, this is not a true jelly bean, so we're going to see how this does. Okay? So they hold up a little bit longer to the negativity and to all the things that go on. Right? But sooner or later, hopefully sooner rather than later, okay, that shell will start to melt. Come on. See that? This is like great anticipation. Look at that drop right there. Okay? That exterior shell will start to drip. right? It'll drop off. And underneath that tough exterior, underneath that person you thought you could count on, that teammate, is a marshmallow. Underneath the jelly bean, underneath that tough exterior, is nothing more than that marshmallow. Okay? I watched it even. I said, oh, I cannot just take a raw Humboldt rock and set a flame. All right? But here's the thing about the rock. Okay? It doesn't matter how long I hold this flame here. Right? This rock will not change its form. This rock is steady as anybody you'd want to partner yourself up with. It's that person you can go to no matter what. It's that person you can call even though you haven't spoken to that person in umpteen years. Right? It's that person you don't even know that you could go to. Right? You can lean on that person. And that person wants you to lean on them. Right? It doesn't matter how created in the environment in which you grew up in or are growing up in, whatever the case may be, I feel through these principles that I'm going to set forth, you can create the you want to be. You can become that rock for your family, for your friends, for your teammates, for your coworkers later in life, for whatever. And when they're talking to you, listen. Actively listen, because there may be a nugget in there. There may be that speck of chocolate that's going to add to your chocolate milk. Right? So you can be chocolate milk and not milk with chocolate. Right? So listen when they're talking. Even if you think, right, it's the hardest thing to do, because sometimes we all do it. Right? We're like, I don't really want to know if I listen to this person. Right? You make a judgment call on something, and but you don't know. They might have something to share that you're going to use or need or whatever. Or maybe they just need someone to listen. Okay? So don't discount the people that come in your life. They're there for a reason. Because it has to mean something to you. We have the white horse, the black horse, the orange or red horse, and yellow in this picture. But 4 colors. You pick the 4 colors that mean the most to you. Right? And the 4 horses are this. The mental hearing these 4 horses. Okay? Every single day, whatever you're guiding yourself for. And this is where the whole marshmallow, jelly bean, rock, etc., being the best version of yourself, okay, being the best athlete that you can be, whatever that is. Okay? So one of the pivotal things you need to do is you need to learn to share the load with those 4 horses. All the work. You're tiring that horse out, right? And when we're tired, right, that's when negativity really gets at us. So that's when we break down, right? Plus, the other horses feel neglected and are kind of like, forget this, right? And they almost shut down. And it can become very lonely, and you're like, what is going on? And you don't get it, you don't know it sometimes, but I'm trying to tell you, in some way or another, this is what's happening in your life. Long before people worry about, well, hey, coach, what should I eat the night before a race? And I'm like, sometimes I feel like saying, you know what? It's a little late now. Okay? I'll give them some advice, but I'm like, the ding-dongs you've been shoving in your pie hole for the last month, and you're going to clean it up the night before the race. You're worried about that one meal? How about all the other meals? Right? That's preparation. That's doing it, okay, knowing with faith and believing that what your coach is putting before you is going to get you there, right? Even before you see it. It's not a one-to-one correspondence. I've talked about this before, and I hope you get it. Just because you do it right today doesn't mean you'll be the champion tomorrow. It could be many tomorrows from now. It could be after cross-country is over, okay? But that compounding interest will pay off in dividends. I dare you to challenge me. Do it right. Be passionate, right? Prepare. And then someday, you can tell me that it didn't work. right? I believe that day will never come. It will happen. Okay? You just got to believe. Control the uncontrollable. Right? Do you try to control the uncontrollable? Take it from somebody who has dealt with control issues. Right? At some point, I had to let go of those things I couldn't control. I'm still working on it. Right? If you see me before a meet, right, I am neurotic. Right? I'm not proud of it. I'm working on it. But I'm like, oh my God. We got to be up early. We got to get out. Why? I got to get the tent up. Where am I going to put the tent? I have to have the tent in a certain spot in the stadium. Right? I got to be there first. NCS Meet of Champions, for those of you there, is at Cal Berkeley. Right? And I know where I want the tent. And I get there earlier every year. Nobody is there. Not a single official. Nobody in the ticket booth. I'm driving around, like sneaking into the stadium, pumping this tent. Right? Like, I've got to be there. And then I know the kids are like, Coach has got it. They get there, they're all relaxed, they walk in, they're like, yep, there's the tent, Coach had it. I'm like, oh my God. Got the tent up. Woo! Right? I'm like, winner! I'm like, I was first, finally, right? In something, I was first. Right? And then I look, and there's like no points awarded for having the tent up first. Okay? So, be careful, right? Don't try to control the uncontrollable. Those things that you have no control over, like, oh, I wonder what, because you guys all know each other's names, right? I don't even get it. Now you're like, oh, so-and-so ran this, so-and-so ran this. Coach, what do you think about so-and-so? I said, look, I don't even know what time you ran on this course. Okay? What do I care about somebody from Gobbledygook High, right? I don't know. What did you run on the course? No, I go, you did? I should have put you in the top 7. Oh, well. Okay. So, and you can't control the weather. You can't control it. Right? It drives me crazy. Oh, it's raining. I'm like, oh yeah, just for us. This blue rain cloud. It's just like, oh God, and everybody else is like, what a beautiful day. Oh, this is so beautiful, it's sunny. Poor Amador, look at them. Oh, right? It's not just raining on us, it's raining on everybody. The course is muddy, the course is whatever, right? Be that team, be that person that doesn't matter. Be like, you know what? Let it rain, right? When I wake up tomorrow, I hope it's pouring, I hope it's muddy, I hope we're just crawling up hills, right? I'm ready for it. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. So why do we stress over it? You can't control the weather. You can't control what your opponent does, but you can control your horses. You can control what you do. You can control how you respond to it. Just like life, right? Sooner or later, you can't control your teacher. You can't control. It's about the process, not the outcome. And I described the process to my team. And I said, if we take care of the process, if we take care of the nuts and bolts, the outcome will be what it's going to be. Right? So I coach sprinters. And I'm hoping that they're like under 11 seconds guys in the 100, right? 21 in the 200. 48 or better in the 400, right? I was blessed with some awesome athletes throughout the years, and this year, that's what we had, right? There's 5 frogs sitting on a riverbank, right? And they're like, I like the other side of this riverbank. I don't want to get over there. They're talking about it amongst themselves, like frogs do. What do you think? Right? And then 3 of them decide they're going to go in the water and go to the other side. So we got, how many left? 5. They only decided to go to the other side. Okay? All I said was they decided they would go to the other side. They never took action. It's not enough to just decide. You've got to jump in the water and get to the other side. Okay? You have the tools. Your toolbox has grown this week. Your toolbox will continue to grow. Surround yourself with the right people. Have the uncomfortable conversations. Be the best version of yourself. Take action. Okay? That's it.